Good evening, everyone, and welcome to tonight's council meeting being held in the council chambers for this Monday, the 26th of February. We'll start the meeting with the opening affirmation and acknowledgement of country. We gather to represent the people of Albury who have entrusted us with this task. May our efforts be blessed with insight, wisdom and common sense. May our personal values give us honesty and courage to serve our community effectively and with respect for all. We would like to acknowledge the Wiradjuri people as the traditional custodians of the land that we meet upon today and pay our respects to the elders past, present and future, for they hold the memories, culture, tradition and hopes of Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander people that contribute to our community. Thank you. Item 2, recording and webcasting of the meeting. A reminder that this council meeting is being webcast and recorded. By speaking at the council meeting, you agree to being recorded and webcast. Please ensure that if and when you are speaking at this council meeting, that you are respectful to other people and use appropriate language. Albury City accepts no liability for any defamatory or offensive remarks or gestures made during the course of this council meeting. An audio recording will be made for administrative purposes. Our next item 3, conflict of interest declarations received by the Chair and disclosure of political donations. Our CEO, Mr Zachnich.
Thank you, Mayor King. One conflict of interest declaration received this evening from Mayor King, a non-pecuniary less than significant conflict of interest. The nature of the interest is Mayor King is a current and long-term member of Albury Business Connect and has a personal connection with an Albury Business Connect employee. The matter is CM 13.7, Albury Business Connect 2024-2028 sponsorship and financial assistance request. The action that Mayor King will take is stay in the chamber and participate in the debate. Disclosure of political donations. There are no development applications this evening, so there is no further advice on disclosure of political donations. Thank you.
Thank you. CM4, apologies. Councillor Thurley.
Thank you, Mayor King. I move that Council receive, note and accept the apology of Councillor Cameron and grant leave of absence for the meeting.
Thank you. Councillor Glacken.
Happy to second. Thank you, Madam Mayor.
We'll put the motion, councillors. Those for? Those against? That motion is carried. Thank you. CM 4.2, attendance by councillors at a meeting by audio visual link. Councillor Bowen.
Thank you, Mayor King. I'd like to move the motion that Council receive, note and accept the attendance of Councillor Bettridge via audio visual link for the meeting.
Thank you. Councillor Glacken.
Thank you. Yes, to second the recommendation as a motion. Thank you.
Thank you. We'll put the motion. Those for? Those against? That motion is carried. Thank you. CM5, mayoral minute. There is no mayoral minute. CM6, action plans. Councillor Thurley.
Thank you, Mayor King. I move the following action plans be received and noted. 1, actions complete for noting only. 2, actions awaiting response from external parties. 3, actions in progress. And 4, long-term issues more than 3 months.
Thank you. Councillor Callaghan.
Happy to second that motion. Thank you.
Thank you. Councillor Thurley, did you wish to speak to the motion? Councillors, any questions or speakers for or against? In that case, we'll put the motion. Those for? Those against? That motion is carried. Thank you. CM7, confirmation of minutes of previous meetings. CM 7.1, minutes of the council meeting held on the 12th of February 2024 at 6 p.m. Councillor Thurley.
Thank you, Mayor King. I move the minutes of the council meeting held on the 12th of February 2024 at 6 p.m. be confirmed.
Thank you. A seconder for that motion. Councillor Glacken.
Happy to second that recommendation as a motion.
Thank you. If there's no comments or questions, we'll put the motion. Those for? Those against? That motion is carried. CM8, reports from community forums. There are none. CM9, notices of motion, notices of rescission. There are none. CM10, presentations and deputations. CM 10.1 is our Youth Council presentation. Councillor Glacken.
I'd be very happy to move the recommendation as a motion that the Youth Council presentation be received unnoted. Thank you.
Lovely. Councillor Bowen.
Thank you. I'd like to second that motion.
Lovely. At this stage, we'll put the motion prior to, receive the motion first. Sorry. Thank you. We have our Youth Mayor, Grace, joining us to start our presentation. Thank you.
Wonderful. Hello. Very honoured to be here. My name's Grace. This is Oliver and lovely Paige, and we'll be presenting to you tonight our annual presentation on Youth Council. So before we begin, we'd like to acknowledge the Wiradjuri people, the traditional custodians of the land in which we meet upon today, and pay our respects to the elders past, present and future. So our year in review. In 2023, we continued to advocate for a strong voice for young people in Albury. In total, the Youth Council met 35 times during school terms for weekly Tuesday meetings. Youth councillors discussed topics presented to them by Albury City staff or by consultation from external organisations. Each member could also share an item of their own, bringing attention to something within their school or something else in the wider community. Youth Council governance. So each year, youth councillors can nominate for different roles to support the Youth Council. These roles require additional commitment and are often called upon to represent the Youth Council and Albury City in various capacities. The Youth Mayor for 2023 is Grace Alexander, myself. The Deputy Youth Mayor for 2023 is Chloe Hall, and the Secretary is Paige Gawn. Oliver?
As a part of being in the Youth Council, we're able to participate in many different training opportunities. One of those is the Disability Inclusion and Awareness training that we partook in the beginning of the year. This provided us with the knowledge and skills necessary to create an inclusive and accessible environment for people with a disability. And this was particularly important because we create events and we want them to be inclusive spaces for everyone. We also talked with Youth Action New South Wales, and this was a really positive chance to have some input to someone involved in policymaking from a regional perspective. Additionally, we participated in some leadership training with Tim Roebuck, which was a great chance for us to work together as a group and work on our time management, organisation skills and event planning. We also had some media training from within council, which was just a chance to learn about how to interact with the media. Very fancy for me. The Youth Council is more than just a consultative committee, and it's really important for us that the youth have a voice, and Youth Council is a chance to advocate within Albury City the issues that are important to the youth and the young people of Albury.
So, might move that. This year in 2023 and 2024, Youth Council have been consulted on a variety of plans or strategies within council or external. So we started off with the social infrastructure and open space strategy, which provided insight into spaces important to young people. We did the communication engagement strategy, which discussed the best ways to engage with a younger audience. The Thurgoona-Willinga Precinct Structure Plan, which discussed what a greater Thurgoona would look like for future generations. The Australian Multicultural Foundation, which offered a regional perspective into the issue of far-right extremism, which was attended by our Deputy Youth Mayor, Chloe Hall. The Early Years and Young People Plan, which informed the ongoing development of Albury's next Young People Strategic Plan, which is an important strategy for the future of young people. Youth Council also assisted in January, where Oliver and myself helped with surveys. And lastly, the Albury Project, which is Yes Unlimited, provided an overview of the Albury Project. Youth Council presented and provided a support letter, and they were awarded the funding. So representation. So youth councillors are a part of multiple different groups. So personally, I'm a part of the Crime Prevention Committee, the Albury Aquatic Facilities Advisory Committee, and the Eastern Hill Activation Master Plan Advisory Panel. These committees have given me such an awesome insight into Albury City and the town that we live in. Fantastic opportunities for myself and to be able to understand what really goes on. I think Oliver or Paige.
Yep, sure. On the note, sorry, of citizenship ceremonies, we had a few opportunities throughout the year for our members to attend, and we were able to welcome new residents to our community. Following on to community events and launches, the Youth Council earlier this year, we helped out the annual the annual festival at January, which is the skate park. It was a huge success, attracting around 300 to 400 people on the day. Both the Youth Management Committee and the Youth Council worked collaboratively to assist the planning and delivery of this event. The event had live music, fun activities, and AL Skate Co, which attracted the large numbers to the event. And more recently was the launch of the Retro Connect card, which we saw some of your lovely faces attending. We were involved in the planning, the launching, and the setting up of the event, and we'll be heavily distributing the 7,000 cards in the coming weeks.
I was also lucky enough, along with Paige, to be a part of the Sustainability Advisory Committee throughout the year, along with some other councillors that are here tonight. It's a great chance for a young person to sit on those committees and have their say on the sustainability issues that are really important to us as young people. I was also fortunate enough to be the youth member for Albury in the New South Wales Youth Parliament, which was a really amazing chance for someone from a regional space to come in and talk in the actual lower house of the New South Wales Parliament and construct a bill, put it through, have it voted through, and amend it with a group of really interested, engaged young people. And that was a really great chance to represent Albury and to bring our views to Sydney and to people that can really make positive change.
So some of the projects and initiatives that Youth Council have been a part of this year was the Gindamana Sports Carnival. So we assisted with the annual Touch Footy program as coaches and helped with the running of the carnival event. So there's me and Sarah up there, the Springdale Heights team. It's a wonderful group and it reaches disadvantaged and at-risk young people to engage them in free team sport, building self-esteem and help the young people. And it really assists in their connection to their community, working with other kids who may not be from their school or their year, and then coming together at Bonnie Doon Oval to have a beautiful big gala day. It's an awesome, awesome program that Albury City run.
At the Riverside Vibes event this year, the Youth Council set up a stall along with the help of Harv Waste at a set of the bins on the day. And at the end of the event, those were the only bins that were actually uncontaminated and were able to be placed in the correct landfill and recycling after the event. We made some shirts. We just got out there and interacted with the community in an attempt to educate, inform, and help people out with that.
Alrighty, so we also attended the winter solstice. So each councillor helped fundraise at their respective high schools. On the night, we were part of helping out distribute ribbons and programs, and it's a wonderful event to have the community come together and support those losses and just to have a really close feeling. Everyone knows they're connected and has that support available to them. Me as well. Youth Council was able to engage in the copper project this year, which meant we were out at the Albury City pump station, stripping back copper wire to be recycled. And the funds from that will eventually go towards a community service or event that we hold. It's a really great day. Everyone got a bit sweaty, a bit of hard work, but it was overall really great and had some great teamwork and bonding moments. That was surely well rewarded.
Awesome. And then finally, we helped to host the Cool Schools Award Night this year. And that is a great project where Albury City helps provide funding to some local musicians that go down to Studio 52 in Melbourne and record some of their music. And this year we had students from Trinity, Albury High, Xavier, Wodonga Secondary, and we even had a homeschooled musician. It was a great night. It was really well attended and we really enjoyed hosting it.
Bear with me. So in term 3 and term 4, the Youth Council successfully completed the Albury Bullying Survey. So we received 133 responses, and the data received from the survey will be considered in the upcoming Early Years and Young People Plan, used to inform further events, programs and initiatives. So at the moment, Youth Council and Albury City are still going through results. However, we believe that we can supplement our results with the Early Years and Young People Plan. Moving on. So Wellfest. So the Youth Council is currently planning a youth mental health event, which is Albury Wellfest 2024. We hope to all see you there. A week-long event during the second week of March of 2024 will focus on bringing light of the importance of mental health and wellbeing to schools and to young people in the wider community. So we will be delivering some workshops to be delivered to 4 local high schools by youth mentor and speaker Eric Agerman. So they are James Fallon High School, the Scott School Albury, Trinity and Murray High School. And we will have a festival day, which will be at Saturday, 16th of March in Kiwi 2 Square. We'll have free community breakfast, pancakes, bacon and egg rolls, a little bit of everything. Local support services, suicide prevention training, free activities, including live music and Zumba classes. So we're really excited about this. This is our main event as the Youth Council of 2023. We hope to see you all there. And, there we go. And so wrapping up, this is our Youth Council list of who was on. So Paige, do you want to say a little bit about your time?
Alrighty. If I can bear with me a moment. If I can. Perfect. Thank you. So 2023 was my second and final year on the Youth Council, and I was lucky enough this year to secure the role of secretary. It was a role I was initially hesitant to take, but have come to enjoy and be incredibly grateful for. It was an invaluable experience and has given me the opportunity to hone and expand my personal and professional skill set, such as my communication skills, time management, and technology skills as well that needed quite a bit of work. I was able to then transfer those into my school environment as a leader and my work and home environment. The biggest personal benefit, though, has been the development of my confidence in myself and my abilities. I'm more willing to expose myself to new avenues and challenge myself and accept that it's okay to not be good at something at first go. I've felt a sense of pride in being able to be dependable and for the effort I've given, knowing I was ultimately able to make a positive contribution to the Youth Council this year and past years as a regular councillor. Although like anything we do, it wasn't without its challenges. I did have to deal with some difficult technology that decided to delete the minutes when I had finished them. But overall, it has been an experience like no other, and I'm really incredibly grateful for it and will miss it surely in the coming year. Thanks.
Mandy's encouraged me to say a few words myself. So I joined Youth Council in 2021 in Year 9. I'm now in Year 12 at James Fallon High School, completing my HSC as school captain. And my time on Youth Council, unfortunately, is coming to an end as I continue the very strenuous and academic journey of completing my HSC, getting the ATAR. But my time on Youth Council has just been truly fantastic, working with Mandy, working with such like-minded people and working with Albury City Council. I have grown so much and I am so indebted to Albury City and to Mandy and to my fellow councillors, to Paige, to Oliver, to Chloe, and to everyone on that list. I started under Eli Davern, lovely man, and then under Lockie Carpenter. And I am so proud and honoured to be the Youth Mayor of 2023 and to have such an amazing group, such a strong group under my wing. It's been such an awesome experience, invaluable. The skills it's taught me, the people I've met, the experiences I've gotten. And I'm very, very excited to see what will happen in 2024. So that was all that we had today. Is there any questions?
Thank you for your
Thank
presentation. Open up to councillors. Councillor Callaghan, thank you.
Thank you, Mayor King. Thank you for your presentation this evening and those heartfelt words at the end. It's kind of, it's very exciting. Steve and I were there from the very beginning, interviewing you all, and you're all such wonderful young people, and the contributions that you've made, whether it's at an event or your contributions and perspectives on the many committees that you sit on, is really invaluable and really valued, and adds to the richness of our community as well. It's been a pleasure getting to know each and every one of you, and I think a big shout out to Mandy while I'm here as well, and to Josh, who really nurture and as you said, build those skills that'll set you up for your future as well. So thank you for everything that you've done over the past year. I look forward to running into you in your workplaces, and good luck with your HSC this year as well.
Yeah.
So yeah, well done. Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor Callaghan.
Thank you. And if there are any questions, councillors, in relation to, there is a report for noting a little later on. So now would be a good time if anyone would like a specific question in relation to that while the youth councillors are here.
Not a question, it's simply to speak.
Councillor Glacken.
Thank you very much. So yes, thank you very much for your presentation and the highlights from your time. There's a lot of youth councillors, so a lot of time has been put into this last 12, 24 and, you know, the months that you've been experiencing this. And it really, your presentation highlighted the backgrounds of each of you and what you all bring to it, and also the backgrounds or the schools from which you come. It's great to see that variety, because we do have a number of schools, and it's good to see that breadth in there. One of our objectives for Albury City Council as our Albury 2050 is growing our future and working with our youth. And so this is a significant part of us achieving or enabling one of those objectives from the 2050. And it provided great insight into the many facets in which the youth councillors are involved in our community. It's the events, the programs, the social initiatives, and the representation on many of our committees and other community groups as well. So that's great to see, because it broadens your, as youth councillors, appreciation of how our community and society works and functions. But it also enables our community to see how our youth council and our youth really are part of that 2050 vision and our future. So thank you very much for your presentation.
Thank you.
And the insights into your experience, because that's fabulous for all of us to see. Thank you also to our staff. And yes, Mandy Wilson is indeed the face of our youth staff here at Albury City Council, but there are many other staff who work and come in alongside Mandy and many other components within council who enable many of these initiatives and programs that you all work on to be able to come to fruition. I know that a lot of time and effort is put into the Youth Council, but quite rightly so, noting the emphasis on the 2050 future. So thank you very much for the opportunity to present to speak to this motion. Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah.
Thank you. And on behalf of all of us, as the current mayor of the day, thank you so much for your contribution.
Thank you. Yeah.
You know, it's just remarkable. I think Albury City's future is in safe hands with such wonderful young people that are prepared to put their hand up as community leaders, coming from all walks of life. So we're super proud of what you've done. And I guess Grace and Paige in particular, your time has come to an end, but thank you so much for your contribution. It's certainly recognised that it's a mighty job combining your academic studies as well. And Oliver, I'm hoping that you may potentially put your hand up, and congratulations on representing us in New South Wales Parliament on policy decisions. I think that's a really amazing feather in your cap. So whenever we can have Albury City at that state and national level flying the flag for us, I think is a wonderful thing. So thank you so much, and best of luck with Albury Wellfest.
Thank you. Thanks, guys.
If there's no other questions, we'll put the motion. Those for? Those against? That motion is carried. CM11, reports or minutes of committees and working parties. There are none. CM12, documents for sealing 12.1. Councillor Glacken.
Thank you. Mayor King, through you to move the recommendation as a motion that council authorises its seal to be affixed to the documents outlined below in the presence of two signatories authorised to affix the seal pursuant of Regulation 400 Local Government General Regulation 2021 and the council seal of management of legal documents and advice procedure. A, Albury City lease renewal to Optus Mobile Proprietary Limited, Kramer Street Tower, West Albury, commencing 28 May 2023 for 5 years, file number 09/01791. And B, Albury City lease renewal to Development Outcomes Proprietary Limited, Suite 2, 4th floor, 553 Keywell Street, Albury, commencing 15 February 2024 for 3 years, file number 15/01195. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Councillor Thurley.
Second the motion, Mayor King.
Thank you. Councillor Glacken, did you wish to speak to the motion? In that case, if there's no other speakers for or against, we'll put the motion. Those for? Those against? That motion is carried. CM 13, Officers' Reports for Consideration. CM 13.1, Infrastructure Contributions Plan Review, Stakeholder Engagement Plan. Councillor Thurley.
Thank you, Mayor King. I move that council endorses the project scope and stakeholder engagement plan, the Albury Infrastructure Contributions Plan 2014 review.
Councillor Glacken.
Happy to second that motion, the recommendation as a motion. Thank you.
Thank you. Councillor Thurley to speak to the motion. We do have a question as well.
Thank you, Mayor King. Given the date 2014 and now 2024, this is a very timely and necessary review. When we look at the critical infrastructure that the city is going to need in the future, we learned a bit about it the other night. There are some very important factors, and so looking at these contribution plans to make sure developers are contributing the appropriate amounts of money and they are getting value for their money as well. So it's a great plan. It explains clearly what we're doing and why we're doing it. And I commend the staff on the quality of this report.
Councillor Edwards, a question.
Yes, thank you, Mayor King. The Albury Local Housing Strategy includes a number of actions that help address the housing crisis that we're currently facing in this city. A key action under the affordability theme is to investigate the feasibility of an affordable housing contribution scheme as a part of the review of Albury's infrastructure contributions plan. Staff recently indicated to councillors that the feasibility of a scheme would be in the scope of this project. However, it still doesn't appear in the scope of the stakeholder engagement plan. So through you, Mayor King, can staff please confirm that this important action from our local housing strategy is in the scope of this review?
Mr. Christie.
Thank you for the question for you, Mayor King. Yes, will be in the scope with consideration for the creation of the discussion paper for then to work out if it then is investigated further following that stage one, which is the discussion paper outlining what are the areas that can be investigated for a future contributions plan.
Thank you.
Any further questions or speakers for or against? If not, Councillor Callaghan.
Thank you, Mayor King, to the most relevant staff member. Just in regards to that, so that obviously wasn't outlined in the paper at the moment. So if there's other creative initiatives in regards to develop contributions, they can also then become part of the discussion paper as well.
Mr. Christie.
Thank you for the question for you, Mayor King. Yes, the idea is the discussion paper will obviously put forward some ideas that have been identified by the consultants, by council staff. But the purpose of popping the discussion paper out too is to make certain there aren't any other ideas that either haven't initially been identified in that and can form part of it, or obviously getting some feedback on those ideas that have been identified.
Thank you.
Thank you. If there's no further debate, Councillor Thurley, did you wish to close? No? Happy to put the motion. Those for? Those against? That motion is carried. Thank you. CM 13.2, Australia Park Car Park Pedestrian Bridge and Levee Bank Reconstruction Works Stakeholder Engagement Plan. Councillor Glacken.
Thank you. Through you, Mayor King, to move the recommendation as a motion that council endorse the stakeholder engagement plan for the Australia Park Car Park Pedestrian Bridge and Levee Bank Reconstruction Project, and move into public exhibition for 28 days to seek further community feedback on the project.
Councillor Thurley.
Second the motion, Mayor King.
Thank you. Councillor Glucken, do you wish to open debate?
Thank you. Yes. This area of our community down Australia Park, Noriel Park, and along the river frontage is a significant component of Albury City and has been a significant part of the work that Albury City has been doing in conjunction with and for the community over a number of years, including back from about 2008 or thereabouts. And so this is one of the many components of that longer project that has been undertaken. Significant community engagement was undertaken in 2017 with a significant component of our community who was supportive of that work being furthered. However, a number of activities have been undertaken since, works have been completed. For example, the area, known locally as the Boardwalk area near the Albury Pool. Some other work's been undertaken down at Noriel as well. So it's important that we go back to the community to reaffirm to them what it is that is intended and to seek feedback from them to confirm that they are happy for us to continue with this project. And noting that we've previously had 90 or so, if not more, % of our community who gave us feedback previously being very positive about that project, I have no doubt that our community will again be very supportive of the overall aim and enable us to continue to develop and enhance that area for our community's benefit. It's also for not just for the people of our community, but our regional community as well, because there are many functions and events, many activities that are held along those areas, including sporting opportunities. We've got one of the regionally significant children's play areas in that space. We've got some significant infrastructure down there, and this is an opportunity for us to receive feedback from our community for this next project going forward. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Councillor Glucken. Councillor Edwards.
Thank you, Mayor King. In November, I moved a successful motion to defer this project to allow for this community consultation, noting that the concept plan for this car park has changed since the initial consultation. The review of environmental factors for this project states that 22 trees will be removed. However, a further 12 will be effectively lost due to encroachment of their tree protection zone. This includes 6 river red gums, 4 to be directly removed and 2 to be lost due to their impacts. An additional 2 native planted and 28 exotic planted trees would be removed or considered non-viable post-construction. The report before us states that landscaping of the new car park and levee bank will include 18 mature trees and understory plantings. I'm concerned that this does not meet the requirements of our own DCP for compensatory planting as specified in the Southwest Slopes Vegetation Guide. The themes of Albury 2050 include planning infrastructure with environmental sustainability and protecting the natural environment. So I'm very interested to hear what our community think about the removal or effective loss of significant trees, loss of shade, and the level of compensatory planting at the gateway to our city. Thank you.
Thank you. Speaker 4, Councillor Callaghan.
Yes.
In 2017, this project garnered a significant amount of interest with 562 responses. Now that much of the Riverside precinct is completed, I'll be interested to see the responses from our community, given that the precinct itself has had such positive feedback thus far. I'm pleased to see that there has been a level of offsetting happen, but obviously there's more work to be done in that space potentially as well. It'll be interesting to see 7 years on from the initial consultation if this is what the community is still looking for. And I think that many will be pleased to see it's another project in itself, but it was in the renders, this much talked about Splash Park and its potential location. So it's all looking pretty lovely in the renders, and moving forward, hopefully it tidies up the final section of the project. Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor Callaghan. If there's no further speakers, Councillor Glucken, do you wish to close debate?
Thank you.
You. In that case, we'll put the motion. Those for? Those against? That motion is carried. CM 13.3 Botanic Gardens Elm Avenue Redevelopment Scope and Stakeholder Engagement Plan. Councillor Thurley.
Council receive and endorse the revised Botanic Gardens Elm Avenue Redevelopment Scope and Stakeholder Engagement Plan.
Thank you. Councillor Callaghan.
Happy to second the motion making.
Thank you. Councillor Thurley, do you wish to open debate?
Thank you, Mayor King. For many people in the community, this is a significant issue, but it seems to me, given all the reports we've had, it's what is about to happen is inevitable. But we have the opportunity now to hear once again from people with a better idea of what we're intending to do. I'm comfortable with what it is we intend, but clearly there was so much interest previously that this is an important stakeholder engagement plan, and I look forward to hearing what the community really wants from this.
Thank you, Councillor Thurley. Any speakers for or against? Happy to put the motion. Those for? Those against? That motion is carried. Thank you, councillors. CM 13.4 December Quarter Budget Review. Councillor Thurley.
Thank you, Mayor King. I move that council receives and endorses the revised budget estimates for the 2023-24 financial year.
Thank you, Councillor Bowen.
I'd like to second that recommendation of the motion.
Thank you, Councillor Thurley. Did you wish to speak to it?
Just a couple of brief remarks. I mean, the review is actually quite positive in terms of where we've gone. We've had some improvements to budget in this last quarter. I note, as is common, the general fund deficit and the water and sewer funds are both in very significant profit. However, that money is internally restricted and in fact will be needed in the future for some fairly major infrastructure works. But overall, this budget review is very positive to me.
Thank you, Councillor Thurley. Any other speakers in relation to this item? In that case, happy to put the motion. Those for? Those against? That motion is carried. CM 13.5 Draft Albury City Social Media Policy. Does the councillor wish to? Councillor Thurley.
Thank you, Mayor King. I move that council endorses the draft Albury City Social Media Policy for public exhibition for a minimum of 28 days. And if no submissions are received, that the policy be adopted.
Thank you, Councillor Glacken.
Thank you. Yes, happy to second that recommendation as a motion.
Thank you. Councillor Thurley, did you wish to speak to the motion at all?
Briefly, clearly social media is one hell of an issue in the community, not always for the good, in fact, quite often for the bad. And I'm grateful to see such a comprehensive policy showing a huge amount of detail and quite clear guidelines and definitions. So I look forward to seeing this go out for public exhibition and hear what the public has to say.
Thank you, Councillor Thurley. If there are no further speakers, we'll put the motion. Those for? Those against? That motion is carried. CM 13.6 Draft Engaging Albury Strategy. Councillor Callaghan.
Thank you, Mayor King. I'd like to move that council adopt the 2024-2028 Engaging Albury Strategy and Engaging Albury Implementation Plan.
Thank you, Councillor Thurley.
Second the motion, Mayor King.
Thank you. Councillor Callaghan, did you wish to speak to the motion?
I do, but thank you. Firstly, I'd like to thank Kate Dehennon and her team for the amendments to the original draft strategy and for allowing further councillor input. And I'm happy to endorse the strategy this evening. I'm particularly interested in the ways that we can continue to further engage our community, knowing that our people can't be everywhere all of the time. They're often stretched as it is. Engage Albury Implementation Plan has some innovative actions, and I'm particularly keen to explore the Albury City app, keeping people connected whilst they're on the go. The objective of this document is to continue to improve on the already great work, to listen to the needs of the community and valuing feedback. The vision is that Albury City is trusted and connected, valued for information sharing, and are highly engaged with the community to ensure effective, innovative and informed decision making. The next 4 years aims to engage our community in seeking feedback to build a prospering community with best practice framework. Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor Callaghan. Any other speakers for or against? If not, we'll put the motion. Those for? Those against? That motion is carried. CM 13.7 Albury Business Connect 2024-2028 sponsorship and financial assistance request. Councillor Thurley.
Thank you, Mayor King. I move the council enter into a sponsorship and financial assistance service agreement with Albury Business Connect for period 1 July 2024 to 30th of June 2028 and include the following annual payments. A, sponsorship of $142,000 excluding GST, the provision of business development services in 2024-25, reducing by $5,000 per annum in years 2, 3 and 4. And B, all funding collected by Albury City under the promotional special rate for the delivery of Albury CBD promotion and activation services indexed in line with the New South Wales government approved rate peg in years 2, 3 and 4.
Thank you. Councillor Callaghan.
Happy to second the motion, Mayor King.
Thank you. Councillor Thurley, did you wish to open debate?
Yes, briefly, thank you. I believe this is a critical piece of sponsorship. I've been to a number of meetings recently associated with the Murray-Darling Basin Plan and listening to communities all across New South Wales where businesses are struggling for various reasons. In some of them, it's because of water buybacks. In some of them, it's because of COVID. But there are elements in most of these communities where businesses are having a tough time. And from the presentation we had the other night, it's quite clear that there are some of those elements here in Albury. And I think this sponsorship provides some guarantee and some certainty going forward. And I think that that's what business in Albury needs. So I'm very happy for this motion.
Thank you. Speaker 4, Councillor Baker.
Thank you, Mayor King. I'd also like to support this motion. I believe the Albury Business Connect is doing a really, really good job. It's vibrant, it's modern, and I think we're going a lot better than a lot of other places, and I'm really pleased to support this sponsorship.
Thank you. Speaker 4, Councillor Callaghan.
Thank you, Mayor King. Business Connect offers and value support to 420 plus members in our community. Business Connect actively promotes visitors and activation of our CBD precinct. And I'm particularly thrilled with the initiative Leora AI, which aims to improve mental health in the workplace, which is at no cost to businesses for the first 12 months and at very minimal $1, therefore moving forward. I was fortunate enough to visit Albury Business Connect within the last fortnight, and with a very small team, they are able to achieve great accomplishments to the benefit of many businesses within our community. And I'd just like to name a few of those, if you might. So despite the many ongoing challenges, which Councillor Thurley has highlighted, and the pandemic, over the past 2 years, Business Connect have been able to host 200 events with 11,000 attendees and over 550 promotional initiatives. They've seen the return of the Albury Business Awards, which has been extremely prestigious, and I was only speaking the coverage that they received, I'm sure, spread far further than Albury and Wodonga. They won the Riverina State Level Business New South Wales Chamber of the Year in 2023, and their recognition as a voice of local businesses with 48 media appearances. And they're also great contributors to the Board of Trust Give 500 program. So these are just a very small number of the accolades, and there was a big list of them, but they were the highlights that I felt like needed mentioning here this evening. I'm happy to support Albury Business Connect moving forward in their endeavours to support the economic growth of our community. So thank you and well done.
Thank you, Councillor Callaghan. If there are no more speakers for or against, Councillor Thurley, did you wish to sum up? Happy to put the motion, councillors. Those for? Those against? That motion is carried. Thank you. CM 14, Officers' Reports for Noting. CM 14.1, Investment Balances, January 2024. Councillor Thurley.
Mayor King, I move that Council receives and notes the Investment Balances Report for the month of January 2024.
Thank you. Councillor Bowen.
Thank you, Mayor King. I'd like to second that motion.
Thank you. Councillor Thurley, did you wish to speak to it at all? Any speakers for or against? If not, we'll put the motion. Those for? Those against? That motion is carried. CM 14.2 Operational Plan Quarterly Progress Report, December 2023. The council like to pop. Thank you, Councillor Edwards.
I move that council receives and notes the operational plan progress report, December 2023.
Thank you, Councillor Callaghan.
Happy to second the motion, Mayor King.
Thank you, Councillor Edwards. Did you wish to speak to it at all?
No, thanks.
Any councillors? Councillor Glacken speaking for the motion.
Thank you. Yes, just to highlight the fact that we are 51% towards where we need to be. And council make it very clear they really do aim for 100%. But over time, various things slip, other things are added. So to be at 51%, 50% of the way through is really good. And I wish the staff all the very best in taking the rest of the 49% through to the 100. Thank you.
Happy to put the motion therefore. Councillors, those for? Those against? That motion is carried. Item CM 14.3 Albury City Corporate Success Pillars, December 2023 quarterly update. Would Councillor Callaghan?
Thank you, Mayor King. I'd like to move that the council receives and notes the Albury City Corporate Success Pillar quarterly update, December 2023.
Thank you, Councillor Thurley.
Second the motion, Mayor King.
Councillor Callaghan, did you wish to speak to the motion at all?
No, thank you, Mayor King.
Any speakers for or against? Councillor Thurley.
Just to note the health and safety aspect of the report, which was an incredibly good result. And I'm really pleased. The team have been obviously working hard on this one and we've achieved a great result.
Thank you. There are no further speakers. We will put the motion. Those for? Those against? That motion is carried. Thank you. CM 14.4 Youth Council Summary 2023. Councillor Glacken.
Thank you. Through you, Madam Mayor, to move the recommendation as a motion that council receives and notes the Youth Council achievements as outlined in the Youth Council Summary Report 2023 and annual PowerPoint presentation.
Thank you. Councillor Callaghan.
Happy to second the motion, Mayor King.
Thank you. Councillor Glacken, did you wish to contribute to debate?
Yes, as we saw earlier tonight, a great presentation by our Youth Council, and it really highlighted the breadth and the depth of our youth councillors, not only their backgrounds, but the schools from which they come to us, which means that we're really engaging the broader and deeper group of youth within our community. The areas that they highlighted in their presentation were really significant because it really accentuates the effort of the Albury 2050 and taking our community into the future. And youth are a significant part of that. One of the components is that we're growing our future, and that's highlighted by the ability of our Youth Council and the number of initiatives that they've participated in, the programs, their representation, both locally on committees and community groups, but also representing Albury at state events as well. And we really need to acknowledge the work of our council as a whole, the staff, the effort that they put into it, our councillors who work with our youth council throughout the year, and councillors who have worked with youth councils previously. Our staff do a fabulous job to ensure that we do have a future and that our community are able to participate at all levels and that our youth council are involved in meaningful and significant components of our community, not just given a youth council forum that they work in amongst themselves, but they actually participate in significant events and activities and community committees and organisations that really are a significant part of our community. And a couple of are highlighted tonight: the Crime Prevention Committee, the Aquatics Facility Committee, and there are others that they also participate in. So congratulations again to the staff and to our Youth Council, and for Albury City for taking the Youth Council and the initiative of Youth Council very seriously and enabling our youth to have a voice, to participate and to be a part of our community in a bigger way. Thank you very much.
Thank you, councillor Glacken. If there's no further speakers, we'll put the motion. Those for? Those against? That motion is carried. CM 14.5, 2023-24 Development Statistics, December quarter. Councillor Callaghan.
Thank you, Mayor King. I'd like to move that the council receives and notes the information in the December 2023 Quarterly Development Statistics Report.
Thank you, councillor Bowen.
Thank you, Mayor King. I'd like to second that motion.
Thank you, councillor Callaghan. Question first, is that? Or
If that's okay.
before opening debate? Yep.
Through you to the most relevant staff member, Ms. Christie. I have a question, it might seem quite naive, but how long is too long? We've got some development applications on there and I'm going to go 2,757 days and another one at 728.
Mr. Christie.
Thank you for the question. Then for you, Mayor King, obviously those applications, when they're that long, are waiting for information from the applicant. They're not being held up by council for that period of time. So a lot of the time we'll work with the applicant. Some of the requirements for information do take a fair while to do. And so we'll generally work with the applicants to work out what's an appropriate time frame to allow them to undertake not only the work that needs to be done, which can involve environmental studies, etc., can take a period of time, but also then to allow council suitable time to assess that information.
Follow-up question, if I may. I've got a couple of questions, if that's okay.
Thank you. Yep.
If they're taking years and years and years, are they sometimes inappropriate developments?
Mr. Christie.
And thank you for the question and for you, Mayor King. So sometimes it's not always around the appropriateness of the development. Obviously, there may be instances in regards to finance and the like, because these extra studies aren't always cheap.
Yes.
So sometimes it is related to that. Generally, if it's related to the appropriateness of development, we'll try to identify that with the developers up front rather than to actually go and send them off for multiple reports if we don't believe they're going to be able to convince council staff of the merits of their application.
Thank you, Mr. Christie. Another question in regards to what's our current DA timeframe sitting at currently, just in turnarounds between people putting their development application in and we have an average statistics?
Thank you for the question and for you, Mayor King. So we indicated in here, it's at the moment for that first 6 months of the year, being July to December, that was around 45 working days on average. That is on working days. So obviously, as an average, there'll be applications that are far quicker and there'll be applications that take a long time to work through. But in answer to your question, it's 45 average working days.
I know the team has been quite depleted and we were outsourcing for some time there. Have we been successful in gaining additional staff in that space to support the processing of these applications?
Mr. Christie.
Thank you for the question again for you, Mayor King. So we've had some success in obtaining staff. I guess the way that we assess applications, and most councils do, is there are a variety of applications that are assessed through either town planning staff or through our building surveying staff.
Yep.
We have been successful over the last 12 months in recruiting some town planning staff. We do have a number of vacancies still, but not as many as they are. Building surveying staff are far more difficult to obtain. And they're the ones who have generally done a lot of our alts and ads, residential developments, etc. So those applications then obviously come over to the existing town planning staff, whereas normally we try to have a full complement in both. We still do also retain the services of a consultant planner who is working pretty much full time, undertaking additional assessments for council to try to offset the extra time taken as a result.
Thank you, Mr. Christie.
Thank you. Councillor Callaghan, do you wish to speak to the motion?
Thank you, Mayor King.
Any speakers for or against? In that case, we'll put the motion. Those for? Those against? That motion is carried. Thank you. CM 14.6, Two Cities, One Community Strategy Action Plan Progress Update, 1 July to 31 December 2023. Would a councillor like to move a motion? Councillor Glacken.
Thank you. Through you to move the recommendation that council receives and notes the Two Cities, One Community Strategy Action Plan 2022-2025. Progress update 1 July to 31 December 2023. Thank you.
Thank you. Councillor Bowen.
Thank you. I'd like to move, second that motion. Thanks.
Thank you. Councillor Gluckin, did you wish to speak to the motion?
No, it's an administrative program partway through the period, so just an update. Thank you.
Thank you. Question, Councillor Edwards.
Thank you, Mayor King, through you to the relevant staff member. One of the actions was a continued collaboration to deliver MOVE, the Albury-Wodonga Integrated Transport Strategy, which this council endorsed in December of last year. So the question is, what are the implications on the delivery of that strategy, given the Wodonga Council has not endorsed that strategy?
Hannon?
Thanks very much for your question, Councillor Edwards, and through you, Mayor King, I will need to take that one on notice. The strategy belongs in a different department, but we'll certainly get back to you with that information.
Thank you. Any other speakers for or against? In that case, we'll put the motion. Those for? Those against? That motion is carried. CM 15, delegates' reports for noting. There are none. CM 16, notice of urgent business. There is none. CM 17, confidential matters. There are none. I declare the meeting closed at 6:56 p.m. Thank you. Thank you, Daryl.